My name is Paige Lawrence. I live in Oakland, California. I teach at Dance Space Studios in Oakland, and I am a tribal fusion and gothic belly dancer. The curriculum itself, in a working class, basically, I am 35 years old, and I need to stretch a lot more than I usually get to in a belly dance class. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm allowing time for that.
Okay.
Every class is going to start with a cool down, sort of getting present to being in a class and putting the rest of our days aside. Then we're going to go through a simple like yoga, stretching, conditioning section, Pilates and yoga, work it out. We move into drilling, and then we move into things like combos. Occasionally I'll have a guest instructor who will come in for 15 or 20 minutes at the end of a class to teach something specific, like a particular move. We talk about Middle Eastern rhythm. Sometimes I'll have musicians. It sort of depends month by month. And then towards the end, we do another stretch, a good solid cool down, and I give them a few minutes at the end of class to hang around and talk, and we don't have to rush out of there at the end of class because we're the last one of the day. And I really like to have that time after class to hang out, maybe have a snack, and kind of let what you've learned in your body kick around in your body for a little while before you go and try and do it some more. So to prepare a class, I first took a bunch of classes. I spent about 2 years now. I took the last 2 years or so to take as many different dance classes as I possibly could from as many different instructors as I possibly could. Because I wanted to get an idea of, sort of what people's styles were, what worked for me. And I've never had a bad belly dance class experience. Like, the Bay Area is sort of amazing for that. There's top quality instructors everywhere with a variety of styles and ideas. So I took a hard look at what is involved in doing the job. I wrote an initial lesson plan, and I just tried it out myself, and then I started inviting friends over to my house informally, and I tried walking through my lesson plan with them, and they said they really loved it. So that was about 8 months ago or 9 months ago. And then it's just sort of happened. Basically, I was in Jamila's class, and one day she kind of pulled me aside and she said, "Kid, I think you should go and teach this stuff. You're ready. People want to see what you're doing." And I'm not going to argue with her. I didn't totally feel ready at the time, but then I think it was that same week or that same month, I got an offer to do a teaching gig at a festival up in Humboldt, so I took it. And had my little lesson plan, I went and I did it, and it worked so much more smoothly, I think, than I was expecting, that I just sort of got it. Like, this is something I can do, and this would be a good time to start. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
Good.
Who should take my classes?
Yes.
Men, and should be taking my dance class. Gay men, straight men, tall men, short men, angry men. Men should be taking my belly dance class. If they want to learn to belly dance, I'd be happy to share. It's the best way I can put it. I am being very deliberate about making sure people know that in my class, LGBT people are welcome. So if you are transgender, if you are gay, if you have any reason to believe that you might not be accepted in a mainstream gym or a dance class, you'll definitely be welcome in mine. Beginners should take my class, and I would say intermediate dancers who really like to drill should take my class.
Tell us about your launch party.
Okay, so I have gotten lucky in that I found a dance space called Dance Space that is really, really well located. It's right by public transportation. It is also 2 blocks from my house personally, and my house is 1 block away from the Temescal neighborhood in Oakland. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to have class from 8 to 9:30, and Jody Wasika from Jawa is going to come and be my guest instructor for the first class and do a little section at the end. And then after that's done, we're going to cruise the 2 blocks over to the Kingfish Bar in Oakland, and which is a wonderful little dive bar right by my house. And across the street is one of the best Ethiopian restaurants in town. So we're going to have some food, we're going to have some drinks, we're going to hang out, and hopefully lose some sleep.
And is everybody invited?
Everybody is invited, absolutely. If you want to come to the class, that's great. If you want to come by afterwards, class will wrap up about 9:30, 9:40. You can either meet us at the studio and walk with us. It's 2 blocks, or you could just meet us at the Kingfish at about 10. And yeah, that's Tuesday the 17th.
Okay, and is there going to be
Future goals? Well, I am basically right now focused on building my teaching practice, building a curriculum that I'm happy with, making sure that I'm in really good touch with my students as I build it over the next, at least 6 months or a year. To me, that's all sort of the beginning probationary time. So I'm just going to work on that. I'm going to continue dancing, doing shows like I normally do. Looking forward to Tribal Fest. Fingers crossed on that one.
Are you performing at Tribal Fest or teaching or what?
I'm sorry?
Are you performing at Tribal Fest or teaching?
We don't know who's performing at Tribal Fest yet, and I'm not teaching, but I go every year. I sometimes help Chuck the DJ with the sound stuff, which is sort of self-serving because then I get to watch all the performances. So one way or another, you'll find me at Tribal Fest, even if I'm just hanging out at the lawn eating popcorn across the middle. So other than that, I'm going to be performing at my first European gig is in 2013. It's going to be Gothla UK, which is in May of 2013. And so between now and then, the big plan is to basically have my teaching practice here in Oakland and do more workshop and festival work up and down the coast and throughout the country, sort of to warm up to the idea of going across the pond and working in Europe. And when I get there, I'm likely to stay for probably a month, month and a half and do some workshops in Europe. That'll be spring and early summer of 2013. England, France, Germany, and Italy. So that's what's coming. I really want to leverage the fact that there's so much amazing talent right here in the Bay Area, and it's there's so many people that are amazing that you've never heard of. And I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but we can do. We'll definitely be doing Haflas. I'm gonna warm up to that slowly, but I know that every class that comes together eventually builds its way towards some form of performance together, and I think that's part of what makes it fun. So we'll be doing that probably quarterly or maybe every 6 months. I'm not sure. And then what was the other thing? I'm sorry.
You covered it both, the Hafla and the guest instructor. So you covered it.
Okay, good.
You covered both of us.
Yeah, guest instructors about once a month. That's what I'm
Okay.
going to shoot for. So sometimes it'll be a percussionist, sometimes it'll be a dancer, not necessarily a belly dancer. I may find a contortionist. I may find a sound engineer to talk to dancers about editing their own music. There's a lot of little sort of ancillary skills that we end up needing to cultivate that we don't necessarily get out of the standard belly dance class, and I want to make a little time to speak to all the other sort of extra stuff that's involved.
Okay.
Favorite thing right now that I would say I am learning still how to do, but that I really, really love is a move from Jill Parker's class, and it's called Washerwoman. And it's basically something in between a tuximi hip sort of a thing combined with a chest, side to side figure 8 combined with snake arms, and then you rotate your body in step. So it sort of looks like you're oiling your way across the floor, and it's really, really languid and cool, and it's particularly neat the slower you go. It's really gooey.
And you're going to teach that?
I don't know if I'm going to teach that one. I think that's just a favorite of mine right now.
Oh my goodness.
What I'm going to teach that, this is kind of funny. There's a lot of lunging that I do, a lot of leg work, and I'm going to see about teaching students. I don't even really have a name for it right now, but essentially there is a way to go from drop to the floor in a half split to standing up and powering your way straight up. It takes a certain amount of strength, but I'm going to work on that.
And so everybody in your class will know how to do that then?
Yeah, I guess I should name it, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should.
Yeah, some sort of a leg lifting technique. I'll have to work on that.